everyone, it's Nicole from Nicole Loves Nails. Welcome to my channel.
So keep me in your sight, 'cause I can do this all night.
Today's video is for the Spring 2023 collection from Essie. This collection is called Feel The Frizzle. So according to Essie, this collection is inspired by a day of indulgent self-care designed to evoke feelings of optimism and relaxation. So I have 6 polishes to share with you all today. I did purchase these from Ulta, and I will have some links down in the description box if you would like to pick up these polishes. And before we get into today's video, I do want to mention, if you are new around here, hi there, I am Nicole. It is wonderful to meet you, and thank you very much for clicking on today's video. Do consider hitting that subscribe button if you enjoy nail polish related content. I upload new videos every single week featuring a mixture of indie, mainstream, as well as boutique nail polish brands. I also do weekly live streams on Sundays. If you are in fact a returning subscriber, welcome back. How are you doing? Alright, so as always, down in the description box, I will have links to where you can purchase these polishes, the brand's social media pages, my social media pages, as well as a link to my blog post on NicoleLovesNails.com where I post all of my swatch photos. Also down in the description box, as always, I have timestamps if you want to jump around, skip ahead, all the things. Let's just get into this video. First up we have in the You-niverse, Essie describes this one as a milky, bright, taffy pink. So this one had a good but slightly thicker formula. It did apply really wonderfully, self-leveled, fantastic. The base color is like a very pale orchid shade. In person, this is such a cool toned pink that it honestly leans just a little bit like almost purpley. I did not think that I was going to like this one, not one bit. I was pleasantly surprised. It actually was really nice in person. Because this one is such a light shade, it is going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on your nail length and application. I swatched it in 3 coats for my full hand swatches. I had several light spots in 2 coats, so I really could not get away with just 2. Next up, we have your Scent-sational. Essie describes this one as a muted chartreuse yellow. I was absolutely shocked that the formula on this one was not trash. Like, I really thought it was going to be trash. I did not have high hopes for a pastel yellow. Like, if yellow is going to be bad, I feel like pastel yellow is always the one that's always just terrible. And this one was actually really great. In the bottle, this one looked a lot more yellow toned than it ended up looking on the nail. I found once I got it on my nail, I could really see that chartreusey greenish kind of undertones for this. It did seem to dry down a little bit more sheer and a little bit more uneven than it seemed to apply. Like, I thought maybe I'd be good in 2, but I definitely needed a 3rd coat. This one also seemed to dry down a little bit more dull than the other polishes, so you will definitely want top coat for a nice glossy finish. And now we have It's High Time. Essie describes this one as a mid-toned mint green. This one had a good but slightly thicker formula. It applied great, no issues, self-leveled perfectly, just like all the polishes in this release. This color was probably the one that after the yellow, that I was just like, I'm not gonna like this. And yeah, this one wasn't for me. Like, this is just not my preferred shade of green, but I do think it is a nice color all in all. I do appreciate that even though this one is such a light color, I only needed 2 coats to reach full opacity, and it also dried down pretty glossy. But you know, as per usual, I did include glossy top coat with my full hand swatches. Next up, we have Ride the Soundwave. Essie describes this one as a milky sky blue. So this one also had a great formula. It felt a little bit chalky, but it did self-level really nicely. I don't know what a milky blue is supposed to mean exactly. I would say this is a very light sky blue. But, you know, I appreciate that they were creative in the descriptions and not just saying it's pastel blue. No, it's a milky sky blue. All of that to say is I don't like this color. Like, I'm not a pastel girl at the end of the day. This is going to be one of the polishes in this release that, depending on application, you might need a 3rd coat. For my full hand swatches, I did end up needing a 3rd coat. Do not overwork this one. Careful application, it'll be a 2-coater. Next up, we have Don't Burst My Bubble, which Essie describes as a periwinkle purple. This one had a really great formula, just slightly chalky, but it self-leveled perfectly. Coverage was actually pretty good. Nowhere near being a 1-coater, but still pretty good for such a light shade. I don't see too many people needing to do 3 coats for this one unless like you really overwork it. Color-wise, if I had this next to a purple, I would say it was blue. If I had it next to a blue, I would say it's purple. It's that kind of shade. Depending on lighting, it's either going to lean very blue or it's going to lean a little bit purple. Only complaint with this one is that I really thought it was going to be a lot more vibrant than it ended up being. Now, if I had to pick a pastel color to wear, it probably would be this one. And the final polish is called Feel The Frizzle. Essie describes this one as a vibrant light pink. So this one had a really great formula. I was so confused when I opened up my package and saw this color. Like, I'm gonna pop up a picture now of what the color was on the Ulta website just so you can understand why I was confused. This is a very sheer polish. I would say it's a very lightly tinted pink base with either a micro flaky or a large particle shimmer that shifts from like a pink to blue to purple. It's beautiful, like, don't get me wrong, it's not at all what I thought I bought. Like, I was so confused. This one is definitely sheer enough that in one coat it'll be really great as a topper. The flakies or shimmer, whatever it is in here, is not the kind that's going to be textured. Removal will not at all be difficult. It will be very messy, and you will definitely want top coat just to give it a nice glossy shine. And you all know, if I can vaguely make a rainbow Skittle with a collection, I'm gonna make a rainbow Skittle with the collection. So here are all the polishes all together. I loved how this looked. Like, this was like the redeeming part of me swatching this collection, seeing everything side by side. So, final thoughts. I don't like pastels very often. The only exception to that is if there's like glitter or shimmer or flakies, something involved to just give it a bit more pizzazz, or if they're like neon pastels. When I bought this collection, I thought these were gonna be like neon pastels. Everything looked like vibrant, bright neon pastels, so I was like super pumped. They're a lot more muted and a lot more just like regular pastel versus like neon pastel, which is, you know, disappointing. So yeah, that was a bit of a bummer. Like, I was really thinking we were gonna get some neon pastels. On the positive side, the polishes all performed really fantastically. Like, once I saw that they were just like straight pastels, I was convinced that these were gonna be like chalky and just like non-self-leveling and just like all around just trash. Because all of my experience with mainstream pastels has never been like super positive. So I went into this one, once I got them that is, to thinking it was gonna be like trash. I was like, yeah, Essie's not gonna be able to make this good. I was wrong, and I'm really glad that I was wrong about that. Yeah, they were all good. Like, they were all 2 to 3 coaters. The ones that were 3 coaters, I wasn't terribly surprised because, you know, lighter colors tend to be a bit more uneven and a little, you know, a little bit more wonky than like a darker color was. If I was gonna pick a favorite based on color alone, I think I would go with Don't Burst My Bubble. I didn't think I was the type to like, I know I don't like baby blue, but this is just like a hint more periwinkle that it's enough to get me to like it. Like, it's definitely not like a baby blue. It's definitely like in that nice periwinkle family. So yeah, this was gonna be a top pick. And then like my honorable mention would likely be in the universe. This color, I really like this kind of shade like on my toes. Usually for pedicures, I usually do blue or various neons, but shades like this like a pinky purple, these end up on my toes quite often. One more complaint, I do wish that Feel The Frizzle was either a bit more opaque or, I don't know, like it's color shifty, so I do like that. I don't know. I wish this was just something else. I don't know what I wanted, but if I figure it out, I'll have it on the screen if I figure out what it is as specifically that I wanted this one to be. So I would love to know what everyone else thought of this release. Like, are you planning on picking it up? Have you already picked it up? I'm sorry if I'm blinking a lot. There's like a cat hair in my eye and like I can't get it out. Oh, I think I got it. Okay, I think I got it. What are your thoughts on light pastels for spring? Before we end today's video, I do want to give a very special shout out to my channel besties. Just thank you all so very much for all your love and support. Your names are on the screen right now. If you would like to be one of the channel besties, I have a link in the description box if you'd like to join the membership. But you know, if not, that's fine too. Like, no pressure. Just, you know, subscribe, like the video, share the video. I would just really greatly appreciate it. And I know I mentioned this in like another video, but I'm mentioning it again. I did just recently update my D-stash page on NicoleLovesNails.com. It's linked down in the description box. Shopping for my D-stash definitely helps me out a ton. And I also have a coffee link if you want to use that too. Thank you all so very much for watching. I really just greatly appreciate it. And I'll just see you on the next one. Bye.